article about the names that might be on the roster bubble, if you will, going into Broncos training camp. And it looks like there's about 6 of them here. A couple of them you go, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. I know you're not going to like the first one. It's Jaleel McLaughlin. Jaleel McLaughlin's been a great find. This is what they're writing at Sporting News for the Broncos.
Right.
Signed as an undrafted free agent in 2023, but the additions of R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins this offseason has put his spot in jeopardy.
Okay.
Unless the Broncos are going to give up on a second-year running back in Audric Estime or keep 4 running backs on the 53, Jaleel could be the odd man out.
Yeah.
And I know how you feel. Audric Estime, as a 5th-round pick,
yeah,
it's not a guarantee there either.
Well, all I know is Sean Payton really likes Jaleel McLaughlin. Does Sean Payton usually get rid of guys that he really likes?
No, he does not. He gives them multiple years and more years after that.
So basically, you have the running back version of Adam Troutman, right? You're going to have a job forever, Jaleel, because you're a Sean Payton guy. All I know is this. Audric Estime was going to get these opportunities that Sean Payton spoke of, and then 2 weeks later, they signed J.K. Dobbins. So life is math. I look at this math, and I go, yeah, Estime's on the bubble. Estime might be out, and Estime might be on the practice squad. There is zero guarantee for Audric Estime. Zero. I think Jaleel McLaughlin, you could put him in pen on the 53.
You think if Jaleel were to try to be stashed, he'd be poached?
Yeah,
Another
for sure.
team would take him?
Yeah, for sure. What he can do, none of the other backs really can do. Now, it's very limited in what he can do, but, I mean, what can Audric Estime do? Fumble the ball? He's not even a power back. He's supposed to be a power back, but he doesn't. You know, if he's out there running guys over, if he's your Mike Allstott, Peyton Hillis, Leroy Horde, whatever you want to say, like, if he's that type of guy, he can be, whoa.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards. If he's the Gus bus out there, he's not any of that.
See, I think they should have used this as it's a Jaleel McLaughlin / Audric Estime. One of those guys I don't think both of those guys are not making the roster. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, yes.
And then it's still, I mean, I don't know. I guess he would have shown something. I'm intrigued by Blake Watson just because he's the former wide receiver.
Yeah, he's got to be healthy. He's got to be healthy, and he hasn't been healthy, and that's been the problem the last 2 years.
The next name on the list, it falls in line with exactly what you just said. If you're his guy, you got yourself a gig. So Adam Troutman being a bubble player, that's not the case. Sporting News is missing the boat on this one. His name, tattoo it on the roster. He's making the team.
I think Adam Troutman is more likely to be a coach than he is to be cut this year, because he will be a coach. He will follow a path of being Sean Payton's guy, being a coach under Sean Payton. Like, that's where Adam Troutman's going. It's why, one, I like talking to him, but two, I'm always nicer to those future coaches because you just never know.
You're going to need some information from them later on down the road. The article writes about Lucas Kroll, Nate Atkins, Caleb Lohner, and then Caden Prieskorn? Hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, that's the Ole Miss kid.
Yeah.
Had a lot of passes from Jackson Dart.
As battling for, I guess, that third spot after Adam Troutman
Atkins
and Evan Ingram.
is a pen guy. Troutman's a pen guy. Evan Ingram's a pen guy.
You think Atkins is a pen guy too?
Yeah.
If they keep Atkins and Michael Burton again, dude, unbelievable.
Well, get ready.
Unfreaking believable.
Get ready, because that's about ready. What's going to happen? And they'll probably play some roster gymnastics, with like Burton, like, he's on the practice squad, and then activate him the 3 times.
They did that last year too.
Yeah, they'll do the same thing. But Atkins, with his versatility, he's a fullback, H-back, tight end. He's got some red zone presence. He can run like opposite play side stuff to him. So, yeah, Atkins is a tight end's wrapped up.
I will actually say Atkins has some flashes where you're like, oh, damn. That might be a player there, right?
Sneaky, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he have the first game of the year, right? That sideline catch? That was pretty badass from Nate Atkins. So that's just like, all right, Evan Ingram's the guy that's going to be running routes. Adam Troutman's going to be the guy blocking. But maybe you do go dual tight end sets with Ingram and Atkins in the red zone to give Bo a little bit more luxury.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's where Atkins can sneak out. You forget about him, and it's touchdown Broncos.
There we go. The next name on the could-be-cut list, at least names that we're watching, is Drew Sanders. This is another one that I'm like, there's no way they're going to cut Drew Sanders.
What?
He can play 2 positions, and there's still a lot of unknown for what Drew Sanders can be as an NFL player.
Why would they cut him? Like, seriously, with the upside that he's got and the fact that...
Who do you want to roll out there? Justin Stranad, or let Drew Sanders try to get a shot at it?
Right. Plus, you have no guarantees that Alex Singleton's going to come back at full strength and be the same player he was. You have no guarantees that Dre Greenlaw is going to deal with whatever injury he was dealing with and be out there and be available. Drew Sanders is your All right, emergency break glass inside linebacker, and he's pretty good in that aspect, especially now that he's learning specifically inside linebacker. They're keeping him at one spot. They're not going to try to have him learn two different positions.
Well, and I was about to ask you, like, what if they need a body at OLB? But they're so deep there, that's not going to be a problem.
They're so
knock
deep.
on wood. Knock on wood.
They're so deep at edge. Like
Yeah.
I think you've got to roster 6 edge players, and that's nuts.
Because
That's crazy.
The last thing you want, and Drew had to do this, is like bouncing back and learning two
Right,
different positions
right.
and terminology, and then it's just screwing up his development at either of the positions.
Well, and I thought you were going to say the last thing you want is one of those edges to be stolen. Because
yeah, I don't want that
someone's
either.
going to steal Q Robinson. Someone's going to steal Dondrea Tillman. Someone's going to steal Johnny Walker. Don't forget about Johnny Walker, undrafted kid that was the star at the Shrine Bowl. Like, they've got 6 legit edge players. You can never have too many pass rushers.
The next 3 names are on the defensive side, and I can certainly see 2 of them going, but I don't think Jaquan McMillan's going anywhere this year. I don't think you can have enough cornerbacks, defensive backs. He's still serviceable. I don't know what his future looks like,
Right.
but he's under contract right now, and he's a body that you can throw out there and trust. I don't want Jaquan McMillan off of this team yet.
Yeah, he'd be the probably only one I'd kind of halfway agree with or maybe put a pin in it.
Well,
I agree
Damari
with-
Mathis is next.
Oh.
See you later,
Oh,
Damari.
yeah. That's, yeah. It's,
He doesn't need to be on this team.
You're moving on there. Now, is Chris Abrams-Drain ready for a larger role? But you're the 4th guy. Jahdae Barron makes you the 4th guy for Jaquan McMillan, who's a nice 3rd corner for a lot of teams. Most every team out there would want a guy like McMillan as their 3rd corner. He's the Broncos' 4th corner. Chris Abrams-Drain, who's a nice 3rd corner, is their 5th corner.
Yeah.
So you've got a crunch there. And those edges, if they keep 6 edges, which is insane, by the way, like insanity, if they do that, you might be going thin at corner.
Well,
You might be
someone's got
going
to take
thin.
a hit.
You have to. You might be going thin at tight end.
Yeah.
Not everyone's keeping their job. You're keeping 3 running backs. That's it. These other positions are going to be crunched because of that talent depth at edge.
The last name is PJ Locke. PJ Locke being cut, which I don't like this either. Again, was PJ probably want a bigger role than he's going to have this year with the Denver Broncos? Of course he
Sure,
does,
yeah.
but I don't like the idea of Devon Key or JL Skinner being the first man up if something happens to one of the 2 starting safeties.
Well-
PJ Locke is a great depth piece for Vance Joseph.
We learned last year that Devin Key you don't want starting.
No, you don't.
Kind of like Justin Sternad, although you learned quicker with Devin Key. It was immediately. It was out there, and it was hugely noticeable. With JL Skinner, it's still an unknown, but anything defensively you've seen hasn't been real great, but he's so good on special teams. And I give him a lot of credit. A lot of late-round guys would be like, why am I not playing? Why am I not starting? Why am I I'm the man? And kind of ignore special teams. JL Skinner has really taken to special teams, and I appreciate that about that young man as he continues to develop and wait for his opportunity defensively. I think we can write off Devin Key as any sort of defensive, asset.
Yeah.
I don't think we can yet do that with JL Skinner.
Okay, so those are some names that we're going to keep an eye on, and as we get to camp in about a month from now, we will be telling you, not even a month, 3 weeks, 25 days, something along those lines, we'll be out there at